Hello everyone, this is Nathaniel Platier, and I'm going to be teaching you guys how to use Cubase. I know personally for me, when I started using Cubase, it was extremely difficult to get into. The tutorials online from the official Steinberg people was confusing as hell. It started off teaching you how to waveform edit first or something like that. It was kind of weird. I don't know. It didn't teach you the layout, and it was really annoying to get started, and I had to learn everything on my own because the tutorials were just that fucking confusing. So to all you people that are wanting to learn how to compose music using Cubase and all that stuff, here you go. So when you first start it up, it's going to give you a screen like this. It's going to have all these little tabs here. What you're going to want to do is go to Recent right here and click on Continue. It'll start up a new project. It'll prompt you for a folder location just to save all your files and all that stuff. It's not really a big deal. Just press Continue, pick a folder or make a new folder and press OK. And this is it. This is what it's going to look like. Here is your window. You're going to double click on the window to make it full screen. And here you go. This is it. This is Cubase. This is really it. This is what it's going to look like. Your complete DAW, the whole layout. First of all, and I'm sorry, I'm not really good with giving tutorials, but I'm sure this is probably going to be easier than the alternative. To go ahead and just jump straight in, to load in an instrument, all you're going to have to do is just hover over this section right here, right click it, and then go to Add Instrument Track. Some people go to Add MIDI Track, but I find this is a lot easier and a lot less confusing. So just click on Add Instrument Track, and it'll pull up this window, and it's going to ask you for a VST instrument. By default, it's going to give you no VST instrument, but you can click on it and then choose what you want. If you note, my instruments are going to look a little bit different than yours because I've removed some of the ones that I didn't like and added a few things that I did like. So by default, you're going to have Halion 1 and Monologue and Embracer and Halion Sonic SE. Halion Sonic SE is really good for starting up, has a lot of good sounds for it being free. So just go ahead and click that, and right here the count is how many of that track you want. So you could have as many as 1 to, I don't know, 9,000, I don't know. But for right now, I'm just going to put 3. It's a good startup. And I'm going to just add the track. It's going to take just a little bit to load in. Hopefully me doing this tutorial isn't going to be too incredibly awkward. But anyway, after you add that, if you add any instrument, it's probably not going to play any sound, because think of it like this. It's like when you do that, it's like picking up a book, but you can't read it because it's not opened. You have to go to a specific chapter and a specific page. So basically, to do that, to pick up the individual instrument and fine tune it, you're going to go over here and go to Edit Instrument. You're going to click on that, and this window is going to pop up. It's going to be different for every single instrument library that you pick, but for what we're wanting, this is what it's going to look like. For Halion Sonic SE, to choose a different instrument, you're going to go to this black space here, and it's going to categorize everything. Usually it will. If it's not, then just click on this box right here, and then go to Filters, and it'll filter things out for you by category, subcategories, and all that stuff. For right now, let's just use a piano. That's a really simple thing to use. Acoustic grand piano is a really good starting instrument. A very good neutral sound for, I don't know, just composing. You can pretty much exit out of this window right here now because you already have your instrument set up. You can fine tune it, of course, add more reverb, change the sound of it, the width of the sound, all sorts of stuff like that. But you don't really need to focus on that right now. Now that you have that set up, and if you have a keyboard in, you can just go ahead and start playing, really. So really your instrument's already set up. If you don't have a keyboard and don't like, or you just don't like playing live, you can actually manually input every single note. It takes time, but it's very accurate. There's no timing issues. There's no latency or lag. So it's pretty amazing. To start doing that, however, you can either use a drawing tool. You can click on here and then just drag how big you want to make a file. Or you can drag this thing right here and just double click in the middle of it. Basically what this thing is right here is it's your export length. It's how big, if you exported the whole file, it's how long the file itself would be. You can obviously do things outside of that or before it, but if you export it right now, it would only export the music in between these two markers. So you can do that, I guess. I don't know. I'm really bad at this, but it's okay. To start editing the actual notes and everything, you just double click inside of there and you're going to see a new window pop up. There's like, I'm trying to teach you guys stuff and there's like crime behind me and sirens and stuff. It's really annoying. But you're going to see a few different things. You're going to see this keyboard layout, also called a piano roll, and you're going to see this horizontal thing, which is your measures. It's how long the note is held. So up and down is the pitch, left and right is how long it's held. Right here in this window here, it's your velocity, which is basically how hard the note is hit. So if you're playing the piano, it's how hard you hit the note. If it's a violin, it's how strong you use your bow. It's pretty simple, but basically that doesn't really matter right now. To start getting into things, all you have to do is zoom in. All these numbers here are the measures. So if you have 4 beats in a measure, this is measure 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, etc., etc. You can actually change the time signature in this box here. If it's not up already, just press Alt-K and it'll pop up. And you can edit the time signature in this box here to change it to 3/4 time, 5/4, 4/4, etc. You can even change the tempo right here by clicking on the tempo and just dragging it, or just double clicking and typing it up. This button right here that says click is your metronome, and if you click on here, this little pause button, it's like a pre-click. So if you press record, it'll give you a 2-measure metronome before it actually starts recording, which is very helpful if you like recording live. But all that aside now, basically it's really simple. You can of course go up here and change how long you can make the note and stuff, but quite simply you can just go to this note right here, click on it, and then drag it out. That lasts for one whole measure. Or I can do 4 beats per measure, or so on and so forth. I can go up here and change how many, like it changes how much you can edit. If you go to 1/1, all you can do is do one measure, one whole note. But if you go in, you can go to half notes, quarter notes, eighth note, 16th, so on and so forth. It's relatively simple. I'm just going to go to eighth notes because that's a really good thing to start off with. I think actually like composing something in front of you guys would actually help you guys learn it easier. So really, I'm just gonna use a Zelda song or whatever, because it's simple. You guys know what it sounds like, etc., etc. I'm gonna do the temple theme from Super Smash Brothers / Zelda 2. It sounds like. So really, all of that is just eighth notes. So I'm just going to input it in here. And you can press Alt-A to highlight everything and Alt-D to duplicate it. Because the next 3 measures is pretty much the same thing with the notes changed a bit. So I go up 1, up 2, and then back down 1. So already it's you just completed 4 measures of music. So you can just press spacebar to play the music, or you can press this little play button to play it. So all of that sounds pretty good, I guess, for the instrument that it is. You can actually change how hard it's hit with the velocity. I already talked about that a little bit. Down here, you're going to see all these little bars and stuff. You can click lower to make the note softer, or louder. So I'm just going to keep it maybe at 65 or so. 80-ish will sound pretty good. And I'm just removing the metronome. And I'm going to speed up the tempo to maybe 150 BPM. To those that don't know what BPM means, it means beats per minute. So now it sounds like this. And basically, this whole section just repeats over and over again. So I can either highlight all that and press Control D to duplicate it over and over again, or I can exit out of this and grab this right here and bring it over there, and then just duplicate it that way. That way I don't have to go in and edit every single thing that I want changed. I can just edit it by section. So if I say, oh, I don't want 4 measures, I don't want 4 sections of that, I just want it to play twice, then I can select 2 of those and then just delete it. Or I can duplicate it over and over again as many times as I want. So now we have one thing already made. Of course, you can add different things to it, change it however you want. But I think that's pretty good for right now. We'll just go to a new instrument, just to add a little bit of diversity to it. Let's go to strings. Strings is a pretty universal thing. I don't know. Ensemble strings. Let's do that. Double click it. And then I'm just going to make a whole section like that. And I can exit out of this now. And basically, it's the same thing. It's actually really easy from this point on now that you know what you need to do. It's just a matter of experimenting and stuff. I think this is how it looks. I actually can't read notes very well, so I do everything by ear. So let's play it. Yeah, that sounds, I mean, as good as it's going to be. If you wanted, I kind of want this to be one octave lower. So one way to do that is you can go to MIDI. Up here, you'll see MIDI. You can scroll down to transpose setup. You can click on that and you can transpose it up or down however much you want. I'm going to transpose it down one octave. So now it will sound like this. And this part repeats once, so we're already set up. I'm just going to delete these extra things here. The good thing about Cubase is that you can change the instruments very easily. Since we already have the note data already written out, we can just change what we want to assign it to easily. We can either go up here and change the instrument this way, or we can honestly just drag it to a new section. So honestly, I can make this the piano part and this the string part. I mean, it won't sound good, but you can do it. You see? So it's really easy to change things the way you want it to. I'm going to change the right hand to maybe strings staccato if I can. I don't know if I have it on here. Maybe pizzicato would work. Here we go. I think that'll work pretty good. Okay. Okay, the first thing that I noticed is that that's really, really fucking loud, and I don't want it to be that loud. You can go all the way over here to the left, and you'll see this little triangle, I guess. I'm going to call it a door stopper. That's the volume control. You can slide it over as much as you want, or you can use your mouse scroll on the number, or just double click it and change it to the value that you want it to. I'm going to set it pretty low because okay, you see it's already set up. It sounds relatively good. I mean, for a short song. One cool thing that you can do is if you want to repeat something over and over again, to loop it and just keep adding things to it so you can hear it and add more stuff to it and develop it the way that you want to, you can go over to this thing right here. If it's not up already, you can press Alt-K until it's the short version of it. And you can press this button right here. It'll cycle through anything that is highlighted in this blue thing. So you can play it and it'll just cycle through. You see? And you can do that with any amount of music that you want. And if you're done with that, then just press the cycle again. I'm pretty sure that you guys already know all these icons and what they mean, aside from that one, because that one's a little bit weird. So I don't really have to go through all that. All this stuff over here doesn't really matter. I don't even know what they mean, to be honest, and they really haven't helped me any. So they must not be very important. I think that's pretty much all the basic stuff. And of course, you can add different instruments. It doesn't have to be from Halion Sonic SE. It can be from anything, really. I've already told you that I've added different libraries and stuff. One of them being from Contact 5. Contact 5 is kind of like a player. I guess you could say kind of like how there's different ways you can play a video file. Like you could use Windows Media Player, or QuickTime or something. This is a different player for different instruments. And I'm going to, I don't know, use a plucked grand piano because that sounds really freaking cool. So it's a lot of different things, like what you want it to sound like and stuff, the mood that you need and stuff like that. Like this is a very good fantasy, almost medieval type sound. But anyway, I'm not going to go into all that stuff. Basically, now that you know how to compose stuff, now you need to know how to export it. Exporting means you finish your song and now I want to turn it into an MP3 or WAV or whatever, so that other people can listen to it. And so it's not, you can put it on your MP3 player or whatever, or online. Basically, all you have to do is make sure that everything that you want to be exported is in this. Make sure that, and I did this before, make sure that your thing isn't inverted, because that's like saying, I would like -8 bars of music. So make sure that you have everything exported the way that you want it to. Press File, go to Export down here, and you're going to see a lot of different things. You're going to see MIDI file, audio mixdown, and all the rest of this stuff doesn't matter. Audio mixdown is the thing that most of you guys are going to want to worry about. Basically, just type in the name that you want. Demo stupid. That's not how you spell stupid, but it's okay. I'm going to just go with it. Demo super Zelda thingy. And then you just go down to the path, and the path is just basically where you want it to end up. So you can say desktop. I want it to send to the desktop. Press save, choose the file type that you want it to be saved as. MPEG 1 layer 3 is an MP3 file. So you can do that. That's probably the best one to do. You don't have to really worry about the ID3 tag. What that is basically the extra information, like who it's written by, the album, track number, all this stuff. And if you want to, you can press insert ID3 tag. But usually it doesn't really matter. If you want the exported MP3 to be put into your project file, you're going to just click on this. You're going to click on audio track, import into project audio track. Really, most of you guys won't really need that, so you can just unhighlight that and press export. And it's done. That's very simple. What MIDI, you can export it as MIDI as well. If you have a friend that composes, or if you don't have really good instruments and you have a friend that does and you want them to kind of send them the notes and everything and they turn it into a full orchestra or whatever, you can send it as MIDI file. And just do the same thing that we did before. So it's really simple. That's pretty much basically everything that you need to know, really. There's a bunch of other things that you can do, but that's more, you don't really need to know about that. Yeah, I think that's it. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed it, then start writing music. All right, talk to you later. Bye.